Hey, what's happening, you guys? And welcome to the Proclivity podcast. Emily, what is the definition of proclivity?
An inclination towards something.
Inclination towards something. A proclivity to an incredible life. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing here at Proclivity. And we do it through the Proclivity method. If you don't know about the Proclivity method, check it out on our website, www.proclivity.co. Emily, today, what are we talking about on the podcast?
We're talking about morning routines. Should we have one? What should they look like? How long? What's it good for?
That's right. We're going to help you master your morning routine. Man, there are so many people out there, and I have studied them and studied them and studied them when it comes to morning routine. Should I be meditating? When I first get out, should I journal? What should I be saying to myself? What kind of affirmations, right? Should I be doing 25 push-ups when I first get out of bed? Should I be drinking water? Should it be with lemon? Should it be with salt? You guys, we got you. Simple and easy are not the same thing. We're going to talk to you today about morning routines, what we usually see with our clientele. We're also going to give you the Proclivity prescription to an incredible morning routine, also including why we pick it. And then we're going to give you ours. Emily's going to talk about hers. I'm going to talk about mine. And you're going to see how it connects with this outline of the prescription that we have. So, without further ado, if you're here to rock and roll your morning routine, we're going to do it for you. Emily, ready to go?
Yes.
Best day ever?
Yes.
Remember that time that you got me a best day ever light and then I knocked over the hourglass and broke it all over the ground?
Yes. And then we found out the light doesn't actually show up in the camera on your wall.
Best day ever. And now you know what I do, guys? I take it and I put it in the hallway of our office. So when people have to come use the restroom, they see best day ever just shining down at the end of the hallway. And maybe that's what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
If anybody has any suggestions on how to get
a neon sign,
a neon sign that doesn't blur out in the background, please let us know. Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's dive into it. Mm-hmm. Coach Emily, we're talking about morning routines today. It's so interesting. We were just talking about this before we started the podcast of course, everyone has some type of routine because they get up and they start moving and they go on with life. So what really is a morning routine? How would we define it?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Just as you said, everyone's going to have somewhat of a routine. Yet for us, I like to think of it as what's an intentional routine that's going to help set you up for success. So it's going to look different for everyone, yet it's something that we're planning ahead of time and we're doing intentionally to make us feel better and put us on the right trajectory for the day.
Yeah. It's, hey, how are we going to start our first footstep, right? Where are we going to go? Because there's that saying, right? I started off my day on the wrong side of the bed, which I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like you rolled over to the other side of the bed, like, listen, I sleep on the, if I'm looking at the bed, I sleep on the left side. Which side do you sleep on?
The right.
You sleep on the right side. Interesting. So Casey sleeps on the left. I wonder if that's a thing. I wonder if men sleep on the left and women sleep on the right.
I think it has to do with where the door is or where the windows are. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Really? Trying to think. I slept on the left. Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. Anywho, talking about being able to get your day started in the right trajectory is a morning routine. Why does it matter to have and we're going to quotation this, good morning routine?
Because so many different kinds of studies show that if we have a efficient or productive morning routine that fits for you, you're likely to have a better mood and higher productivity for the day, right? Less stress. All the stuff that we want to avoid, we have less of. All the stuff we want, we have more of.
And one of the things I noticed, you ever had a bad dream? And then it kind of like sets your day off kind of funky.
Yeah, you feel like in a funk for sure.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the importance of being able to have appropriate language. And it is one of the parts that we talk about in the Proclivity prescription of being able to have the right attitude and language moving into the day. And if we start our day off in the wrong direction, we might capture that whole thought process and go, you know, maybe this has happened to you guys before, right? You get up, you're trying to do your morning routine, and oh, I forgot I was out of coffee, right? You're starting your morning routine and you knock over the milk. And then we say these words, oh, this is how this day's going to go, huh? Whoa, holy moly, you just casted your day. Emily, what do we do here at Proclivity when we spill some milk?
We say, well, Joel says, goody goody gumdrops and bowl full of bunnies.
That's right.
Or best day ever.
Mm-hmm.
We change it up.
That's right. It's a pattern interruption, guys. If we knock over some milk, one of the first things you can do neurologically, right, psychologically, is if we change the pattern. A pattern interruption is against your normal train of thought, right? I spill the milk. Gosh dang it, is the normal pattern. What we could go is goody goody gumdrops and a bowl full of bunnies, or look at that opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
or be able to go, that's interesting. Any of those things do, particularly the tells your brain pause for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So and then whatever you want. Well, goody goody gumdrops and a bowl full of bunnies. Or that's interesting. Or what an opportunity. Those things can help with getting your day started. If something comes up, the last thing we want to do is go, this is how the day is going to go, huh? We're just setting ourselves up for failure, you guys. Because then your mind, it's called your reticular activating system within your brain, is going to start searching and seeking for all the things that can go wrong in your day. Where maybe we would have breezed right through it, where now the mind is seeking it out. So this is where we then continue to compile throughout the day. Oh, see, and then I hit that red light. Oh, and then it took longer in the Starbucks line to get my coffee. And then I didn't have my favorite song on. You're seeing, you're laughing because it's true, Emily.
Those were fun examples, yeah, but yes.
Yes. And so making sure that you have the right mindset getting out of bed is essential, and it's something we're going to talk about in the Proclivity prescription. Yet, let's talk a little statistics. We were on a website, what was it called? ThriveMyWay.com. And they have some statistics. Give us some of those statistics. You were looking at some of them, and you picked out a few that you liked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is all specific to morning routines. And so what they said is 2 out of 3 people who prepare the night before for their morning routine report lower levels of stress in general, right? So if you do any kind of preparation, 2 out of 3 people report lower levels of stress. So that could be setting your alarm. It could be putting out your clothes for your workout or for the day, getting your coffee ready to go, putting your cup of water out on the counter, preparing your lunch, or looking at your calendar ahead of time, those kinds of things. So that's a good one, right? To me, that's motivating of like, hey, let me put a little bit more preparation into that morning routine, because that's a good statistic. Yeah. Another one that's high, right, in terms of high stat is 92% of high performers or very successful people say they have a specific morning routine. So that tells me, okay, there's it's a correlation, but a good one, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then the question is like, well, how do we rank highly productive people? Or highly,
for sure.
Some of the ones that I liked, and I actually found interesting, was 44% plan and prep their outfit the night before. Do you do that?
If I'm working out in the morning,
in the past?
Yes. If I'm working out in the morning, otherwise, no.
You got to make sure you got the right Lulus
Yes.
and the right socks to go over your Lulus.
Yes.
Okay, if y'all don't know, Emily loves throwing long socks over her Lulus.
You gotta find comfort in the cold months.
You got to find comfort in the cold months. And I am so proud to run with her every time when she's bundled up with 2 hoods on and long socks over her Lululemons.
I'm not alone. Shout out to all the other ladies who do this. I know there's others.
We haven't found them yet, but we just know they're out there. They're out there. Anyways, 44% people plan and prep their outfit. 34% look at the next day's calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is an interesting one for me because I can imagine, I don't do this, and there's a specific reason. I can imagine looking at your calendar the night before could send you into an upregulated state. Oh, shoot, that's right. I got this meeting and that meeting and and all of a sudden we're whoop right before we go to bed. So I'm not huge on that. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a double edge for me, because for me, if I look ahead, then I know what's going on. I think for me that helps my brain calm down, rather than I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm like, oh, do I have that meeting in the morning? Do I have this to do tomorrow?
I see that.
So then my brain starts turning even more. So knowing for me helps.
I can see that. I can see that. And again, I think it just depends.
Yep.
Right? I think it depends on where you're at with that. So those are some of the statistic guys that we looked at. Again, that's thrivemyway.com if you want to check it out. /morning routines, I think. You can check that out if you want. We can also toss that in the show notes. And the reason that we wanted to bring up the statistics is, again, a lot of people have morning routines and they're confused. I mean, what is my morning routine supposed to look like? Coach Emily, before a morning routine, what is the most essential thing? Like before we even wake up, what's the most essential part of having a great morning routine?
A great
night. A great morning.
A great night's sleep. Full night's sleep.
How do we get a great night's sleep?
We have a great routine in the PM.
Is it the chicken or the egg? Like that's the thought process. Yet my thought is, without good sleep, it makes it really hard to get up in the morning.
Yep. And for some people, though, if they're just starting out, they have to start somewhere. And for some people, they think, okay, well, let me just, brave the hard part of getting up at the time I want to get up at, right? It's going to feel a little harder the first day or two, a couple days, first week's going to feel a little harder. The more you stay consistent with it, the easier it'll get. Yet starting somewhere, and again, might feel a little hard. I think starting at the PM routine, though, tends to be a little easier.
Right. And what's our prescription for getting the amount of rest we need?
Yeah, so we want to map out what's our ideal wake up time, count back at least 8 hours. That should be the time that you're in bed, lights off, no TV, no reading a book, all of that stuff. That's when we're trying to sleep, right? If you know it takes you a lot longer to fall asleep, add more time to that. Yeah, whatever that time is that you should be in bed, back up 3 hours. That should be when we have our last meal, ideally finishing our last meal. And then that's the basic timeline of like, okay, I know when I need to be eating dinner. So then I know I need to be in bed at this time so I can digest and sleep better, right? And then be up at this time and get hopefully at least 7.5 hours minimum for most people. Some people need 8.5, 9. So we got to figure that out for you.
Right. And everybody's a little bit different when it comes to sleep.
Yep,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we've done podcasts on sleep before. Most people are chronically deprived of sleep, which is affecting your weight gain, which is affecting your muscle mass, which is affecting your chemistry and hormones and balance.
Yeah.
You guys, if you haven't checked out our podcast on sleep, maybe it's like in the 50s or 60s or something like that.
Maybe earlier.
Check it out. Yeah, it's a good one. And you will be surprised. If you want to lose weight, if you want to gain muscle mass, sleep. Yeah. Number one. Number one. All right. So we have some statistics. We know about morning routines. We know it's important. People are sitting here going, Well, what am I supposed to do? Okay. Let's give you guys the Proclivity prescription. Here's our top 5 things you should do in 30 minutes, really ideally like 30 to 60 minutes, if we're including exercise in there, which is one of them. Very first thing is gratitude. Why do we want to show gratitude first thing in the morning, Emily?
Well, it sets our mindset up for success is how I see it, right? If our first thought stepping into our day is gratitude, love, right? Being grateful for what we have, you're more likely to say, oh, goody, goody gumdrops and a bowl full of bunnies when you do spill the milk.
Right.
So it's setting yourself up for success mentally and already stepping into your day with, again, love and gratitude, feeling good.
Absolutely. And it's proven, you guys, that the more gratitude you show, the more serotonin you release. The more serotonin you release, the happier you are.
Yep.
That's why there's that correlation of, you know what, today's going to be great. The best day ever. You guys, you know how many times I've said the best day ever and I've been having a hard day?
Mm-hmm.
More times than you would think.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, by saying it, by being able to go, man, what an opportunity to feel this pressure of the day, to feel this doubt, to feel this sadness, to feel this depression, to feel this anxiety, to feel any of it. The reason that I say, man, what an opportunity, the best day ever, it's because I know this is the only day I have guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot go back to tomorrow, right? Or yesterday, and I cannot go into tomorrow.
Yep.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
And when we get our minds wrapped around that, we're going to get little boosts of serotonin throughout the day.
Yeah. It makes me think of some other little tricks very similar to that is, when you're in a rough moment, whether you're working out or you're during the day, you're in front of a group of people in a meeting doing a presentation, if you're feeling nervous or down, whatever it is.
Yeah.
2 things I think of is the smile, right? I know you did that in your run, your extremely long run. Smile through it. It's a signal to your brain like, hey, no, it's better than what I think it is or what it actually is.
Yes.
I can do this. And same idea goes for standing tall, right? Putting your shoulders back and down. There's literal chemicals that'll boost into your brain like serotonin and give you, whether it be more confidence or just feeling good and better in general.
Mm-hmm.
So those are little ways to do it as well.
Eye contact too as well, guys. Eye contact, smile. Eye contact, smile. Doesn't matter if they smile back or not. It's like what you're producing. And again, these are all serotonin releases. Yep. So there's multiple ways that you can do gratitude in the morning. You can read something, right? Some people read scripture. Some people read motivational books. Some people journal. Some people meditate. Some people go through their affirmations. All things are great. Doesn't need to take long. Mm-hmm. Okay. You don't need to sit there and go through 25 affirmations. You don't need to meditate for 60 minutes. It doesn't take long to be able to get the boost. That's number 1. Number 2, light exposure is drastically important. Now, we're in the wintertime. Emily, what do we do when we're in the wintertime? We're waking up before the sun, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's been cloudy because it's been snowing. What do we do in terms of being able to help with light exposure?
Yeah. 2 main things. The first thing is getting that light exposure artificially. It's better than nothing. So turning on all the lights in your house or wherever you are, you can do that gradually if you want, yet getting that in within a half hour of waking up would be ideal. So turning on the overhead lights, and again, any other lights that you have, opening the shades for when the sun does come up so you can get a maximal exposure when it does arrive. The second thing I think of, if it's really dark and you're having trouble, the thing, and we'll talk about this as well, but getting some movement in, that's going to boost your cortisol in a good way that we want in the morning for most people. And that can start to affect your circadian rhythm as well.
And we'll talk about circadian rhythm, guys, because we're going to go over our routines. Emily and I's are different, but you'll see within our routines that these 5 things are in there one way or the other. Okay, so light exposure is really important. There's a lot of different neurological releases and patterns that happen with light in the Summertime, it is best to get that light first thing in the morning. Just get up, go get your eyeballs to the sun. Forward movement towards the sun, actually walking towards the sun, has a lot of health benefits as well. So like actually walking towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So that's number 2. We got gratitude and light exposure. Third one, water. Water. Why is this important, and what does that look like in this prescription?
Yeah. Well, when we wake up, most of us are most dehydrated in the morning after we wake up because we've been breathing all night, which means we're exhaling water molecules into the air, and we haven't been drinking. So we're most dehydrated, most likely first thing in the morning. So we want to rehydrate ourselves because our body needs that water. We also needs electrolytes. So this is where I like to personally add in electrolytes to start my day off on the right foot.
Yeah.
Right. So I can hold off on breakfast a little later if need be. I tend to have better cognitive function, better energy, especially if I'm working out in the morning. Definitely want those electrolytes first thing.
Yeah. You know, what's interesting is I've found myself waking up early in the morning, like early. I don't know the time because I don't look at the time. That's what a rule I have. I have no clocks in my bedroom. I don't look at the time. But it helps me tune into my body of like, where's my bladder at? Feels, X amount full.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming it's probably around 4:00 in the morning ish. And I kind of get these like hunger cues, hunger pains.
Mm.
Do you believe that that's because of my hydration, electrolytes, and so on and so forth?
That's definitely the first thing I would try to see if that helps. Electrolytes more before bed, more throughout the day for you, especially if you're a low carb eater or fasting. And if you're, the second place I would look to is, hey, are we eating enough? And oftentimes I look towards protein and fat first, and then you can experiment with carbohydrates and making sure they're complex carbs, because it could be just that your body's waking you up to need more fuel.
Yeah. I mean, this is a little off topic, but I've been doing a lot more bodybuilding, strength training, and I literally feel more hungry.
Yep.
Right,
Makes sense.
because I got more and more skeletal muscle mass.
Yeah.
And so that could definitely be a piece too. Yet if you guys are waking up and you are having those hunger cues, you could be low on electrolytes.
Yep.
And sometimes, people wake up and they're like, oh my gosh, man, I got to eat. I'm hungry first thing in the morning. It's like,
Drink some
have
water.
some water and some electrolytes, or some salt. And do we suggest doing some of the lemon water as well?
Yeah, you can try that for sure. Especially if you plan to eat, then you could try that to see if that helps with better digestion. There can be small benefits there if you have some issues with your teeth in terms of, acid and eroding your teeth. Definitely check with your dentist. Yeah, a lot of people love that lemon water. It's a good substitute to coffee first thing. Adds a little flavor and can help start that digestive system going.
So ideally, we're getting up, we're drinking some water. How much water should we have?
I mean, anything's better than nothing. At least a cup. Ideally, this is where we're getting the majority of our water in one spot during the day, meaning we suggest you sip on your water throughout the day. But if you're going to drink one big bolus or one big thing of water, the best time to do it is first thing in the morning, because you don't have anything in your stomach. So you're not going to inhibit digestion. And again, we're most dehydrated. So I say if you can, get 20 ounces of water within the first 30 to 60 minutes.
Yeah. I usually put down 32 ounces within the first hour, maybe 75 minutes. I'll probably drink 12 to 15 ounces first thing, just because I'm really thirsty. And then throughout my work, I'm sipping through my MCT oil and element water, which really helps.
Yeah. And to be honest, for me, I'm not naturally super thirsty. Like I don't have that feeling most often. So for me, adding the electrolytes helps me drink more.
You know why?
Why?
Because you tape your mouth.
And
you're not being a big old mouth breather.
Could be.
Could be. Who knows? Okay, that's third. Gratitude and light exposure water. Fourth one, exercise. Exercising first thing in the morning. Does it show benefits? Should we do it? Tell us about it.
Well, Yes, 100% to all of that. The thing I like most about moving your body first thing in the morning is if you're having trouble with consistency in moving your body daily, this is where you should definitely give it a shot. Because where I find people like, oh, I ran out of time in my day, or I had to pick up the kids, or work, I had another meeting, my phone call went late. Get it done in the morning so you can get it done, right? Wake up before the kids get up if you can, even if it's that 15 minutes. And if you can get it done first thing in the morning, you're way more likely to, again, be consistent with daily movement because nothing else is going to get in the way. It's hard to schedule a phone call at 6 a.m., right? Or have work or have something pop up early in the morning. So that's my favorite part about it. Number two, it just feels great. I feel like $1 million when I can work out first thing in the morning, right?
That's right.
You get those hormones going in the best of ways, and you feel great. You feel energized, clear-minded. If you work out fasted, you get some ketones perhaps going, or your body starts tapping into the fat sources. And again, that for a lot of people boosts their cognitive function. And again, better energy too. So, man, benefits all around. The only person that I would say wouldn't be good for is if you're someone who tends to go to really high intense workouts and you have any kind of adrenal issues, which you may or may not know. Yet I would speak to your trusted coach or functional medicine practitioner on that one.
Right. Well, and here's the kicker, guys. A lot of us feel like, and we've been told this because the fitness industry is the fitness industry. You got to get to your 45-minute, hour-long workout. You guys, to get the benefit, the dopamine hit, the cognitive function, feelings, it's 10 to 15 minutes. So you could go for 45 minutes, but you're still going to have the same function, the feeling of 10 to 15.
Yep.
And so we've talked about it before on multiple podcasts about movement, right? Emily has the M. I got the rodeo. Okay. Doesn't take long. And I have felt just as good going through the rodeo as I have going through a 60-minute run or high intensity or bodybuilding workout or strength training workout. Because I already got it. I get past that 10 to 12 minute mark. I'm getting the dopamine hit.
Yep.
And so it is, guys, it's more important to get some movement in the day than it is about what the movement is. Because if you make it too big, and I put this on our Instagram, don't allow perfection to become the enemy of progression. And what I mean by that is, oh man, I got to get that. If I don't get that 45-minute CrossFit workout, boot camp workout, Pilates workout, I just didn't have time this morning, so I'm not going to do it. Nothing. You're going to do nothing because you couldn't get 45 minutes in? False. Go for a walk, go for a run, do some push-ups, sit-ups, air squats. You will feel better. Your day will be drastically better, and you don't need much. And here's the kicker, guys. If you actually did that 7 days a week, it's going to be exponentially better than the 3 workouts you do at the group class. Why am I saying 3? Because I ran a gym and we kept statistics. And you know what the average was of people coming to a CrossFit class who had an unlimited membership? You can come as many times as you want.
3 days.
Do you know what it was?
3 days.
2.5.
I was going to say 2, but you said 3. So
2.5. 2.5 days. Because we're allowing perfection to be the enemy of progression. You're going to get way more if you were 7 days with a 10-minute workout than you would if you were trying to do 2.5 45-minute workouts.
True.
So get moving in first thing in the morning. Then last part, number 5. This is dependent on the person. Yet number 5, and these you kind of have seen that this is gradually building. Gratitude really should be the first thing, then light exposure, then water, then exercise. Now we can start talking about coffee, music, cold exposure. I'm laying a couple of those ones out, and if there's any other additional ones These are the bonus feel goods when you're getting out your day, right? Now I'm about to walk out the door. What are going to be the bonuses? Because these bonuses help to double down on dopamine and get that extra, like, man, I'm ready for the day kind of feeling. Do you do any of those? Or do you have any dopamine double ups that you do?
Double ups. My son for sure is a dopamine hit. I
No
call
doubt.
it like when I get to go see him, getting him out of bed, it's like Christmas morning every morning. That's what my sister coined it, and it's so true. So that's for sure one. And really, my priority is when I do see him, I'm fully present. Don't have my phone out, especially in the morning. Don't have my phone out. I enjoy like some pure time with him, looking him in the eye, right? Playing with him, snuggling him. That's my for sure number one. But yes, otherwise, coffee. Love coffee. I worked in a coffee shop for 5 years and grew to absolutely love it. And I don't even drink it for the caffeine, just love the taste. So I try and wait. We talked about this before. I try and wait to have my coffee as long as possible. Some days that's 20 minutes and some days that's an hour and a half. For others who can wait longer, good for you, right? And we talk about the benefits of waiting because it can help boost if you are drinking coffee for the energy boost. If you time it that way, right? Our cortisol is highest in the morning, right when we wake up. So if we can wait until that starts to taper just a little bit, then have that coffee, then it can boost you up a little bit and you get more of an energy feel good. For me, I just like it for the taste. So I tend to do decaf or half calf, or if I do regular coffee, it's just a little cup. I'll have that after I've had my water and all the things we've talked about. So definitely coffee. If I'm working out in the morning, I will take a shower right after I work out. And especially right now, the water's cold. So I turn the water on and I jump straight in. And it takes about 30 seconds for my water to warm up to a minute. And so I just do a little mini cold shower right after I work out. For me, it's easiest to do that because I'm already hot. So I feel like I'm cheating a little bit, yet still feels great. So I'll do that about 2 or 3 days out of the week, and then coffee 6 or 7 days of the week.
Yep. And these double down dopamine hits, this is the delayed response. So guys, dopamine is it's really creating the weight to the award. So the more friction, or the more you have to work to get to the whatever, the bigger the dopamine hit. So you get baby dopamine hits when you double tap on Instagram or scroll through. And this is why we find ourselves going back to it so often, is just a little dopamine hit. But getting up when it's cold outside to put on your sneakers and run in the snow, when you get done, you find yourself coming back and like, man, I just trudged through the snow and I did it and it was 2 miles, and you have this huge surge. You feel extra good. That's the dopamine. And you can ride that wave with a double up dopamine hit. So imagine Emily doing all the things. She did the gratitude, she got light exposure, she drank water, then she went and ran the dogs through the snow, and then walked through the door, perfect timing, and Dansby's waking up while there's some coffee brewing in the background. Emily, how good does that sound?
Wonderful.
Double dopamine hit. So plan on what your double dopamine hit is. Sometimes you're going to get it, sometimes you won't. But find the thing that is going to give you that double dopamine hit, such as music. Wait to play your music after your exercise. Some of us like to listen to music during your exercise. Take a day to remove it and give you the music after. And you will feel like, oh man, I resisted for a little bit, and I got the dopamine hit from the exercise, and then I had the coffee, and then I saw my son, and then I did the music, and then I did the whatever. Even if it's an Instagram, then I double tapped on an Instagram. Find the double dopamine hit. Okay. So that's our Proclivity prescription. Gratitude, light exposure, water, exercise, double dopamine hit. I just made that up at the end. That's good though, right?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. People are going to hit us up and be like, yeah, I double dopamine hit. Yes, you did. So, real quick, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a quick rundown of our morning routines. And you're going to see how we plug in our Proclivity prescription for these. So, Emily, ladies first,
Oh, thanks.
give us what your morning routine is. From your eyeballs are waking up. How are your eyeballs waking up? Is it because you have an alarm? You don't have an alarm? You're just naturally waking up? And then take us through your morning routine before you're walking out the door.
Yeah. So as a parent of a child, toddler, it can look different. Yet most mornings wake up with my light alarm, my favorite trusty Casper light alarm. So it slowly, gradually over the course of 30 minutes lights up to a really bright light. I usually wake up about 10 minutes though into it. And then I lay there for another 10 minutes, slowly waking up, thinking of what I'm grateful for. And so I'm already getting two right there, right? I'm getting the light into my eyes, and I'm thinking about what I'm grateful for. And then about half the mornings, I go and get a workout in. So then I get dressed, go work out in my garage. And then, like I said, I can hop into the shower, get a little cold exposure. And then usually that's the time I'll go get my son. And we go from there and get coffee after that. On the days I don't work out, then I take my time a little bit more. And some days I meditate for 10, 15 minutes. That's one of my favorite me times. I can tell a big difference in how I feel when I take a slower morning approach and sit there, whether it be enjoying my water or my coffee or just literally doing nothing and calming my mind, right? So I notice a big difference in my day, in my mood, in less tightness on my chest when I can do that as well. So usually it's one or the other, exercise or meditation. And then getting, I missed. So the water I get when I get out of bed. So I go get my water bottle, fill it up with water and electrolytes, drink anywhere from 10 to 15 ounces first thing, and then sip on it the rest of the morning. And then, get my coffee usually about an hour after I wake up. Am I missing anything?
What? I don't know. I don't live in your morning routine. We could call Casey and find out. What element do you use first thing in the morning?
What flavor?
Yeah.
My favorite is raspberry. Raspberry or watermelon, usually.
First thing in the morning, a little raspberry, a little watermelon.
Yeah. Every once in a while I'll do chocolate if I'm not doing coffee or I want to take a break or want to wait to have my coffee. Every once in a while I'll do a warm chocolate element.
First thing in the morning?
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
A little treat.
Fantastic. It is a little treat. All right. That's a great morning routine.
And I will add, because I'm sure any parent out there can relate. My son will wake up early at times, right? And there's times where I can leave him in his bed for like a half hour and he's fine. He's just sitting there and he's just up early. So I let him be. There are other times where he's crying. He needs me. So this, that, the other. When that happens, there's times where I don't get to meditate. I don't work out. I don't get to doing some things beforehand. So I have him, but then I do my best to include him in that. So in the summertime, we'll go out on the front porch and watch the birds and get some sunlight in our eyes. We'll go in the backyard and just take a little stroll with literally just in our backyard. Or we'll make coffee together. He has chocolate element, right? And as his coffee, and he helps me in the process. And so I include him in that as much as possible. So he starts to obviously learn the habits as well, but too, it's our time together and it's that pattern interruption of like, oh, dang it, he woke up early, so I don't get to do my things. It's like, no, I get to spend more time with him and teach him and be a role model and spend more time with him. And so it can make it for me. That's part of my routine often as well. What about Joel's routine?
Oh man, everybody buckle in because we're about to take a journey together.
Joel's
Get on a magic carpet ride. Well, first and foremost, I'm single. That makes it real easy. And again, I have studied this. I have done all the things. Meditated for 30 minutes, done future casting, affirmations, journaling. I've done them all, you guys. And what I found is that you want a morning routine that can travel with you everywhere you go. And that's part of our Proclivity prescription. Because you can get water wherever you can go. You get light wherever you can go. You can do gratitude wherever you go. You can do an air squat and push-ups wherever you go. And if you want a double dopamine hit, do some dancing or sing to yourself. Boom. We've done the entire prescription there. Okay. And what I found is majority of my morning routines are going to be like my charge up is what I call it, 30 minutes or less. And this is what it looks like. I wake up with a light alarm as well. You guys, if you don't have a light alarm, get one. Get one now. Mine is an Amazon one, super cheap. You can go onto Amazon, put light alarm, and it's going to be Amazon's bestseller or whatever, and it's like $30. Or you can get the Casper Light, which is really cool too because you can travel around with it. So either of those are going to be great ones for you to do. I also have the 8 sleep pod. So this thing is warming me up, okay? Heating me up. So I'm getting heated up and lights coming on. Talk about the best day ever. All right. Then the first thing that I do, I put my 2 hands in the air and I go, yes, I get another day. I've cheated death once more. And these are the words that I'm saying. I have cheated death once more. God has given me another day. And then I take my pillows all off my bed and I throw them on the ground. And I make sure I throw them with some vigor. Okay. Why do I do this? Because I'm going to make the bed. Again, I'm single, so I have nobody else in the bed. I'm not like pulling the pillow underneath my girlfriend's head or my wife's head. Okay. I throw them all on the floor. Then I put my 2 feet on the floor and I stand up. And when I stand up, this is important, you guys. Stand up with vigor. Stand up knowing that this could be the last time you could actually stand out of the bed. And then I touch my body. Okay, not in a weird way, guys. Don't think of it that way. I like touch my kneecaps and my hands and my fingers. And I go, oh my gosh, I have fingers and I have eyes. I got hair, right? I'm going through this process because I've had friends or family members who are not here today, or who have a serious injury, or who don't have the ability to use their appendages. And it's like, whoa, but I do? Well, what an incredible blessing. So before I even start the day, I'm already sitting there going, oh, I've won. This is it. I jackpot. And then I take a moment. I talk to God. I thank him for this day. And then I go with this could be my last final first step. I might not have this opportunity tomorrow. So I have 1 foot to step into the day. And I go, oh, man, this step is going to be with love. And this step is going to be with joy. Best day ever. And I take the step. Right? Now I'm already excited. Then I make my bed. I start turning on all my lights, even just in my bedroom. And then I pick up the book called The Greatest Salesman in the World. If you guys haven't read The Greatest Salesman in the World book, get it.
It's a good one.
There's scrolls in there, and I read one page of these scrolls each day. And it's a motivation. It's an affirmation. I'm moving forward, right? I will act now. That's the scroll I'm on right now. And then I just repeat it every single, however long so, gets me through the scrolls. But check out the book, Greatest Salesman in the World. Then I go to the bathroom. When I go into the bathroom, this is still part of my gratitude, is then I use the restroom because I got to pee. And then what I do a little tongue scraping. I do a little bit of Fatco on my face.
Shout out Fatco.
Shout out Fatco. If you guys haven't checked out Fatco, get you some Fatco. I put some Fatco on my face, hydrate my face. Then I brush my teeth. Then I jump up and down. I get rid of any bad energy.
It's good for your lymph system too.
Yes. Jump up and down and do a little bit of body tapping. You ever done a little body tapping? A little smacking on the body?
Like once ever.
Yes, I do it every morning. So I jump up and down and I smack my body. And so again, like what Emily's saying is, hey, we're starting to get that lymphatic fluid moving. And so before I even get going to drinking water, I have shown gratitude to myself, to the world, to God. I've treated myself by putting a little bit of, moisturizer on my face, scraping my tongue. But my breath is nice and clean. So I'm like, shoot, nobody's even here, and I'm stepping out of the bathroom feeling fresh. Then I go turn on all the lights in my house right now because it's wintertime. That's when I go. I start my hot water to be able to make coffee. I drink MCT oil and 1 packet of chocolate element in my 32-ounce bottle. I drink a little bit of that. And then from there, I'm continuing to make my coffee, and then I leave it on the stove. I got a little warmer, so I just leave it there. So it's already ready. So I pour it, and I just leave it because it's not time to have coffee. It's decaf anyways, but this is part of that double dopamine hit that we talk about, guys. I know it's sitting there. Then I go and work out. I do my 20 to 30 minute workout. Then it's a little reward time, double dopamine hit. And I go pour just a little bit of coffee, not a full cup, just a little bit to get a little splishty splash in my mouth. Then I roll to the bathroom, take my shower, finish it with a 1.5 minute cold shower on the neck, chest, back, rotate, big breaths, deep breaths, rolling through that. I also got some music rolling around. I got one of those mini Bose Bluetooths. If you don't got one of those, and it doesn't have to be Bose. It could be any, right? But something you can just travel around with. So you can bring it into the bathroom. Again, I'm getting my double dopamine hit. Then I go through my whole routine, shaving my face, going through that, getting everything fresh for the day, so that when it's time to step out, I'm like, I've already conquered the freaking world. Let's go do a podcast on the morning routine.
Yep.
So that's my morning routine with a couple of the different things that I utilize in there, including Element, MCT oil, Fat Co, light alarm clock, greatest salesman in the world, all those little pieces. And you guys, I wake up at 6:30. I'm done with my morning routine and my workout, but usually by 7:30. And I'm getting out the door, but 7:45, 8 o'clock. So that's it. What do you think about that, Emily?
I like it because it is simple and very effective. Keep things moving.
And I can do it anywhere, and I've done it anywhere. I take it with me, right? I'll take Element packets with me. I can move anywhere. I've done so many different. I've done the rodeo in hotels, at friends' houses. I've got up and gone for a run. I've just done the same routine. I can do it each and every time. And that's important.
It is.
Yeah. So you guys, we've talked about the morning routine, the vital parts of the morning routine, our Proclivity prescription, our top 5. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you're just trying to start off with a morning routine, grab just a couple of them. Grab a couple of them and start working them through until you get all 5. When you get to the double dopamine hit, you know you've reached the pinnacle. Okay. Whether it's with your son, coffee, cold exposure, music, or all of them. Okay. Drinking coffee while singing with Dansby in your arm, your freaking head would explode.
I've done that. Yep.
And it's the best. Anything else, Coach?
No, like Joel said, I want to emphasize, start with something small. Start with one thing, try it out, see how it feels, and adjust. Doesn't have to be what you think it has to be. It could be a little less. It could be a little more. It could be something different. So be expansive and allow yourself to experience different things and see what works best for you.
That's it. All right, you guys. That is it. Episode 96. We're getting to 100. It's coming up close.
Yeah, we're gonna have a party.
We're gonna have a Proclivity party. If you guys are interested on any of the things that we've talked about, or you're interested in the Proclivity method, head to www.proclivity.co. Book your complimentary 1-on-2, 2-on-1.
Either way.
Clarity call with Emily and I. We'd love to be able to talk to you about your goals when it comes to living a healthier and happier life. We do both of them, guys. We'll teach you how to be able to do the simple things to be able to create the body that you want and the life that you love. Sounds great to me.
That's it.
What do you think today is going to be?
The best day ever.
That's it. Peace out.